Welcome to Talk of the Tavern. A little about us, we're your at-home interactive weekly geek con, all blended with wit, sarcasm, and a pub-like atmosphere. We're adults talking about adult topics and using adult language. We laugh and make jokes about almost everything. We don't intend to upset, but some folks have their feelings hurt easily. This is all done in humor in the style of the great offenders such as George Carlin, Red Fox, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Wanda Sykes, Sam Kinison, George Lopez, Lisa Lampanelli, Chris Rock, and others. So grab your vice of choice, sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy yourself in the company of great people, hot toddies, and guests alike, because here we come.
Put that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open. You'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk of the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk of the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk of the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk of the tavern. The song's over. Here we go.
Thought maybe you're trying to get your best side, put it right behind you there.
Well, exactly.
Welcome to
Hi,
June
Ian.
13th. Oh, is Ian on already?
He's excited.
Welcome to June 13th episode of Talk of the Tavern, where we have our very special guest, comedian Brad Williams, who I've been calling the biggest personality in comedy.
Not an exaggeration.
Not really. Is it a cliche, though?
I've heard people say that. I've heard people say inch for inch, the funniest man in comedy. So I think that might be accurate.
That's a dick joke, right?
Absolutely.
Nice. By the way, podcast since Rich Sigfrid is listening, and he's like, holy shit, the Brad Williams. Love About Last Night podcast. Sadly, I'll have to catch the archive. Have a great show.
Nice.
Popped in to say hello and he's bailing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell him thank you. And you mentioned my podcast, the About Last Night podcast. This week, our guest is Academy Award winner Sandra Bullock.
That's thrilling. So did you just like call her and go, Sandy, what are you doing this week?
That's it, because we text. It's kind of our thing. We text, we go tanning. My podcast partner and heterosexual life mate, Adam Ray, did a movie with her called The Heat. And based on that, Adam was the bad guy with the thick black beard. So he has that relationship from there. And thankfully, Sandy is one of the nicest people in the world. So she did our little rinky-dink podcast. I say rinky-dink, but we've had some amazing guests. We've had Neil Patrick Harris, Susan Sarandon, Bob Saget. Yeah.
How was Neil?
Neil is as good as you think.
That's awesome.
It's weird when they say anyone who has ever said the words "never meet your heroes" didn't meet Neil Patrick Harris, because he's
that's awesome.
He's fantastic. He lives in a wonderful place in Harlem,
nice.
Which is not where you expect Neil Patrick Harris to live, but it was fantastic. He's the nicest guy. His husband is amazing, and they're great.
I just be asking, what are your costumes this year for Halloween with the kids?
Right?
Every year I'm like, what's he wearing this year?
Every year they do Halloween up right. I'm probably gonna be one of those dads. It's sad. I just got a dog, and my wife is already trying to think of costumes that we could put this thing in for.
Beautiful. And by the way, congratulations! Yeah. It was just last September, right? Yeah,
last September I got married to a tall woman. That's proof I'm funny. Because like that's what people like when people meet me. They go, "Oh, you're a comedian. Are you any good?" I say, "Here's a picture of my wife. Obviously, I'm doing something right."
There you go.
So,
story.
Life is good. I got my wife is a wonderful, wonderful tall Chinese woman, and I am just thankful.
So, I mean, no disrespect, but how tall is a tall Chinese woman?
For me, it's 5'6". Although if she was 4'8", that'd be huge for me. So that's you'd be dominating me there. So
she's almost as tall as me.
Say, it doesn't say a lot about me.
Andrea?
I don't want to interrupt, but We need to have an opening toast.
We do. I skipped the whole normal intro thing, and I don't have.
Oh,
He
I'm
did.
sorry. You guys have things you do.
Oh,
I
it's
apologize.
okay.
No,
We're
it's
all
all good.
we're like a fucking puppy, and okay. So let's do a quick opening toast. Hey, here's to laughing a little too much and peeing not enough when it happens.
I like
Oh.
that.
Here.
I don't have a thing to toast. I can
You
get
just
one,
flick
but
this off, man. Whatever works for you. I
Yeah.
don't care. It's
hey, you're not allowed to show pussy.
no, pussy's okay. Nipples are bad.
Well, on this show, it's all right.
Got it. All
Yeah.
right. I didn't know the rules.
As long as it's not shaved and you can't
There's
tell
not
what it
really
is.
any rules.
That's good. I like shows like that.
Besides, the Twitch thing. So, yeah, that's why no nipple, because Twitch rules.
Well,
Sure.
see, this is why I'm like, I'm a fan, and I discovered you on Pandora.
Awesome.
And I'm
Thank
like,
you.
this guy's funny. Who the hell is he? And then I had to watch the YouTube and see all the stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
we need him on the show. And here you are. So I'm so happy.
Thankfully, you got me at the perfect time. I'm not that famous yet, so I really, if I turn down your request to be on the show, it would just be because I'm an asshole. I'm not that busy. I don't have that much going on.
I honestly, I appreciate you coming on at all, and it's one of those things.
No worries.
I just want to be
No,
besties
we were
when we're done,
surprised.
so we can promote your shit afterwards. That's all.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, and thank you for doing so.
Yeah.
One of the perks about being a comedian is, on average, your day isn't that full. Your night's very full, but your day's wide open. So you can appear on internet talk shows. Now, is that tobacco or the Mary Jane? Just curious.
That is tobacco for a few reasons. One, I can afford it.
Okay.
Two, I don't get arrested for it. And
It's not legal here.
yeah,
Oh, what state are you guys in?
Virginia.
Okay. All right. Well, certain things are legal there, but wow. So you guys, and you, like, you've gone full character because you've got the vest, the curly Q mustache, and you smoke a pipe. You should
This
be
is
living
how
in Silver
he
Lake.
is.
It's
This is full hipster. How many mason jars do you own?
none, but I do keep. I don't know. Do these count as mason jars? What I keep my tobacco in?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
In that case,
And you got
I mean-
the vest. Now, do you have glasses? Do you have a monocle? Do you wear glasses ironically? You can actually see?
I had glasses initially since 13, and about 10 years ago I got laser eye surgery. So now I got reading glasses. That's it.
Oh, you're a cop-out to the hipster nation.
And I
You
was
gotta get back
hipster
in
before
it.
hipster existed. I'm who they modeled themselves after.
Do you laugh at people based on their coffee orders?
I
And
can't
you
order
say that-
coffee. I'm
You
not
say
sure.
that's not artisanal enough.
No,
Oh.
I'm the guy
No,
going,
I laugh
I
if
want
there's
the,
too many words.
what's the hot sweet stuff with the vanilla and whipped cream? And Andrew's like, just move, I'll
Okay.
order it for you.
So you look the part, but you're not full. Like, okay, like I totally get it, and I completely identify with that because I look the part of a dwarf, but I'm not full dwarf. Like I don't play a piccolo. I
Panpipes maybe?
Panpipe, no. I don't. I'm not hiding a pot of anything
Maybe
back
a pot,
there.
but not a pot of.
I live in a home, not a rainbow. So I'm not full dwarf. I've never baked a cookie
Really?
ever.
Not
Yeah,
even like the
never.
instant ones, because we had some last night. They were good.
Yeah, those are so easy to make, and I'm still like I could burn cereal. I'm that bad at cooking.
Sweet.
So, my wife keeps me away from this stuff.
Do
But-
you get a full range of cooking from her?
Oh, she's the best.
Yeah.
If
awesome.
if my any advice to any of the single men out there is if you're looking for a lifelong partner, I
Mhm.
would say invest in the cooking. I mean, like if there's certain things that you're not quite a fan of, but she can cook, just
Mhm.
forego that, whatever it is. Just make.
See, I don't cook. He cooks.
Oh, well, even better then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now and then you're smoking a cigar, so
Yes.
that's That's a woman after my own heart. Well done.
See, I have cigars over here. What I have found is the pipe tests better for viewers. It's more interesting to them. But I like
I mean,
cigars because I'm lazy.
yeah, and
I don't like pipes because it's too much work.
You were saying?
I don't like pipes because I don't know, just something about a dwarf smoking a pipe makes you think I'm about to tell you a riddle or a fable or something like that. Like I'm gonna be like, sit down, I'll tell you the tale, and I don't know.
You're gonna have
So
to grow
I don't
the
think
beard
I
longer.
could actually pull off the pipe. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Here's something funny for you. 2 weeks from now, we have another guest on, William Kirchert, who is in The Hobbit as a dwarf. And Andrea pointed out we have 2 dwarves on this month.
But he's not a dwarf, though.
No, he just played one on TV.
Yes, this is... Well, I wish I was on with him right now, because I am furious at these people. Not because they did it with The Hobbit. They did it with also the dwarves in Lord of the Rings.
Correct.
And they did it in Snow White and the Huntsman, where there's not actual dwarves. They're tall people CGI'd down to play dwarves. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, it's hard enough for us to get work already. And then you actually have a part that is our part. And we can't do that.
So
some of them find it... Yeah, some of them find it offensive when dwarves play dwarves. I don't understand that. If I don't protest, I don't get mad, I don't really talk about any social issues, but that would be the one where I would be like, because now a hot button issue is cultural appropriation. Everyone hates cultural appropriation. I even saw someone rant that Bruno Mars needs to stop because he's not African American, so he can't perform that kind of music.
Oh, geez.
And so now, but non-dwarves can play dwarves?
Well, let me ask you this. If he and I get along well enough that he'll do his second show, should I set it up with you and him and just do dwarf versus dwarf show?
Yeah, I'd be in it. I want to know why he took that part.
I'll let you know.
Funny.
I would not take a job away if someone, like, we already got mad at like Andy Rooney back in the day for playing an Asian character. What was that, in 16 Candles?
I think so, yeah.
It was one of the John Hughes films. Yeah, it was one of the John Hughes films. And that's where we got, me so sorry and stuff like that. So that's horrible. And
I was thinking Mickey Rooney instead of Andy Rooney. My bad.
Mickey Rooney. That's who it was. Yeah. That's who it was. Okay. Not Andy Rooney. Andy Rooney's from 60 Minutes with the eyebrows.
But he's probably done this at some point in time. He's
probably said me so sorry. So yeah, that's horrible. But then a non-dwarf can play a dwarf. That's just we're CGIing disabilities onto people. Come on, you have so they would rather spend millions of dollars CGIing a disability onto a person when the authentic thing exists. People, don't listen to Hollywood. We're idiots. Okay, we're morons.
True story, and so's the audience.
Yeah.
Well,
they consume it.
See, you've used dwarf most of the time, and publicly, I mean, of course, we know. Little people is the PC term du jour, I believe. Midget used to be, is now a bad word, and you're using dwarf. What are we supposed to say when we don't know the person we're talking to?
Yeah, if you don't know the person, I'd always go with little person. If you want to be insanely PC, go with LP. That's insane. But
I'm stuck on vinyl with that one.
Yeah, but me personally, I don't mind the term midget, but a lot of little people really don't like that nomenclature. I don't mind it because to me, I don't know, and I'm definitely in the minority with this. To me, the word midget sounds kind of the best because little person sounds kind of condescending. Like you're just a little person,
right?
And then dwarf sounds like the aforementioned Lord of the Rings. Like you're gonna be watching this show and you expect me just to pop in and be like, "That's my process," something like that. And then to me, midget, like if you hear, "Oh, he's a midget," you go, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about right now." If you hear little person, you're not quite sure. You're like, "Oh, does he have dwarfism? Is he Puerto Rican? You're not quite sure because they're all little people.
They are. They are. They could just be Asian.
Yeah, exactly. You're not sure. So I don't mind the word midget. I don't mind if you guys say it, but just know that if you're out and about and you see a little person, don't run up and be like, "So you're a midget, right?" Like that's
actually absolutely what I wanted to know, is because I know with you, with your comedy stylings and whatnot, you're a bit looser and on things.
Sure.
So what?
Well, in terms of that, in terms of using those words, I kind of use them all. If you watch my specials and listen to my album, I'll say midget, I'll say dwarf, and I'll say little person, because I don't care. It's not something that I want to spend my time writing strongly worded emails to bloggers and news broadcasts.
Just do a YouTube video and post it up instead.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, so I've got better things to do with my time, like be on Talk of a Tavern. I'm just not I'm not gonna waste my time doing that kind of thing. Forgive the pun, but life's too short.
Absolutely. You know what? Let's flip back real quick. Pimp your stuff, because we're gonna get to talking. We're gonna forget to do it. Tell us when and where they can find the podcast, your next show.
Yeah.
Go on. Go.
Podcast called the About Last Night podcast, available on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on a few other places. My comedy albums, both Coming Up Short and Hi Ho, are available streaming on Pandora. Or if you want to actually give back to me, buy them from my website or iTunes. Then I have 2 1-hour comedy specials that are on Showtime, called Brad Williams Fun Size and Brad Williams Daddy Issues. So you can go on Showtime. You've got the Showtime app.
By the way, love the cover shot of Daddy Issues.
Thank you very much.
How'd you do that?
We had an interesting photo shoot that day. So for those of you who haven't seen it, on the cover, I'm sort of in a baby Bjorn, and I have a dad figure behind me. I was actually in the baby Bjorn, but we had to pull it taut, be in front of a green screen and do the shot, and then the dad was sort of CGI'd in a little later.
Gotcha.
Those are my specials. That's my podcast. And BradWilliamsComedy.com. Go there, click on tour dates. I never stop touring.
No, you don't.
So you will see me if I'm not at a comedy club near you. Just wait. I'll be there. I'll make it there.
Yeah, because you've come out near us before, but I couldn't get tickets. Because you've been to DC and Richmond and stuff, and that's near us.
Yeah, we're about an hour of Richmond.
Sometimes. I go to Richmond sometimes. They have the Richmond Funny Bone there, which ironically is in a shopping center called Short Pump.
Yes, it is.
That sounds like a porno I would be in. If someone watched the dwarf. Yeah, be Short Pump. And then I go to the DC Improv. The DC Improv once a year, and that's one of the best. That's one of the best comedy clubs in the country. So, like I said, I'll be in your area. Just don't be that guy that writes me and says I'm from this little tiny town in North Dakota that has 15 people. Are you coming here? No.
Well, unless they want to pay the fee, then go wherever they want if you pay for it.
Yeah, I'm going to Wisconsin. You can go there. Some people, I'll tell them where I'm going. They're like, "Oh, that's about a 45-minute drive from me. Is there anything closer?" It's I'm not going to be doing it in your backyard.
I'll be at McDonald's drive-through, your town.
Yeah.
You just come through, get a joke and a burger, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Although, if the check clears, I'll do stand-up in the backyard. Absolutely. I don't care.
Rich and Famous will invite you to the birthday party and put a check in your thank you note.
Oh, I would love that. Some people say that's selling out. I'll go tell jokes for a Sultan somewhere for 22 times my normal rate, and then just go out there and do it. I've done it, man. I've done stand up at a private party one time. They had to pay me a lot, but they hit the number, and then I did it. So I'm not against it. What's that?
It's good enough. And by the way, if you ever make it to Richmond, I won't be the guy that harasses you before, but you'll see me waving as your set is ending, trying to say hello.
Well,
That'll be me.
unless there's some giant hipster mustache cult in Richmond, I think I'll be able to spot you.
Probably. And I do wear I actually wore the vest because of your photos in a vest. And I'm like, well, shit, I got to wear a vest for this guy.
Vest is a hot ticket item, man. Vests are coming back in 2018.
You should have wore your hat, too, because I know y'all have matching hats.
Yeah, I got a pork pie hat out there that I wear.
Oh, I got the fedora. There you go.
Oh, yeah, I got fedoras, too. If it helps at all, I am wearing plaid shorts with this. Yeah. Is that hipster or is that not? I don't know. I haven't studied the guidebook.
It's everything, my friend. That you are killing the game right now.
That's why I get all the ladies.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
I'm curious. What was it like growing up with dwarfism? What were the people like in school and whatnot?
Well, here's the thing: is my dad, not a dwarf. Okay. We don't all come from the same tribe.
Right.
My dad, when he raised me, he knew that I would be made fun of as a kid. So he raised me with an attitude of when somebody makes fun of you, you immediately make fun of them back. So he would actually kind of train me. He would make fun of me like casually as like a 4-year-old. And then he would encourage me to make jokes about him. So he was essentially training me to become a comedian. So by the time I got to school, I was ready. So when kids made fun of me, I had comebacks for them. I made a kid cry on the very first day. I got sent to the principal's office.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, was this in school or earlier today?
Yeah, right. In school, he ran up to me and said, "Ha, you're little." And I said, "Ha, your mom doesn't live with your dad anymore." And I live in Southern California. I had a 50-50 shot of getting that one right. And thankfully I did. And so, yeah, he cried. And then I got sent to the principal's office because I had the better comeback. So that was sort of how that started. So, yeah, kids would make fun of me, but they would learn very quickly that's kind of a mistake. And especially at school, all the kids they knew me. So the thing about being a little person in a school, you're pretty popular. Everyone knows you. Everyone knows the wheelchair kid. Everyone knows the dwarf kid.
That's true.
That's kind of how it goes.
See, when I went into high school, I was 4'4". Now I'm only like 5'7" and a half now. Yeah, 4'4" going into 9th grade.
Wow, that's my height now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I always had the quick wit and the sharp comeback, so they'd knock me down and say something, and I'd say something, and they'd be pissed because everybody is now laughing. And so, yeah, I got put in more than one locker and hung over more than one bathroom stall for this shit.
Sure. But then that sort of attitude, I think, is something that's sort of fleeting nowadays. Now, kids are being taught less and less of when somebody insults you, hit them back, and they've been taught when somebody insults you, go on Twitter and start a movement, sign petitions, and then get that person banned from ever speaking again. There's sort of that atmosphere going on where people want everyone to fight their battles for them, or they only fight them online, where they don't have to actually be face to face with the person. And it's amazing what a simple phone call will do. And even if someone, I had an issue last week. I won't go into too much detail because the person is actually known, where we were having a disagreement, and I simply called them up and said, "Hey, let's hash this out." And it's amazing what happens when you're actually forced with the consequences of your words. Right. So when I say something, that person can hear it, they can respond to it, and even more so in person, where someone could flat out just reach across the table and punch you in the face. Right. You choose your words a little more carefully then.
You do.
So yeah, I was taught with that sort of old school attitude, and when I eventually have kids, I'll do that. Yeah.
Because standing up for yourself or getting bullied, it's something that teaches you how to handle real life in the real world.
Yeah, I think it was Chris Rock on his new special, Tambourine. He said, bullies are good. sort of like that greed is good speech from Michael Douglas on Wall Street. Bullies are good, and obviously it comes with extremes being not good, where you don't want someone to be mocked every day by the entire school or ever physically assaulted, but a little ribbing every now and then is good. And if you hang out with a bunch of if you put yourself in a bunch of like 4 best guy buddies, 4 best guy friends, all we do is rip on each other.
True.
That's the thing. All we do, and the second someone actually gets hurt by it or actually says something about it, that's when it's not fun anymore. Now you've kind of ruined it.
That's how Monday nights are here. I have 5 of us on at a time, and we got a Brit, we got a filmmaker out of New York, we got a black guy, and we make the rounds and have the laughs.
Absolutely. And that's what I think is dangerous is when you're, because I want to treat everyone like my best friend, and my best friend I make fun of a lot. So I don't care if people make fun of me, but just know I'm going to make fun of you back. But then that's how we sort of become friends. It's when there's taboo topics, things that we are not allowed to say, not allowed to do. Now everyone's walking on eggshells, and then when someone makes a comment that's even remotely close to that, or it skates around the edge, that's when people will start freaking out. Nowadays, I think people are becoming offended for the sake of being offended.
They are.
I don't think
it creates a value to their life because now their opinion matters.
Yes, and there of course are many moments when something truly horrendous is done, but then I think it becomes this mob mentality where someone wants to be included, so they go, "Oh, everyone's getting offended at this.
Right.
I'm going to share my story, the time I was hurt," and it's not even close. Like it's not even. So yeah, it's gotten to a point now where it used to be the last thing anyone wanted to be called was a victim. Everyone was striving not to be a victim. Now we're gone. The pendulum has swung the complete opposite way, and now we are all striving to be victims. We are looking for reasons why people should feel sorry for us, whether it be hell. I was doing a morning radio show, and I was talking about being a little person, and the radio DJ on air goes, "I know what it's like, man. I understand being discriminated against, and I know what it's like being disabled." And I went, "Oh, what's your disability?" And he held up his hand, and he was missing half of this finger. Ooh.
If he said it ironically, it would have been okay.
But he didn't. He was flat out being like, "Yeah, this is equal to you." And I'm not trying to have a pissing contest with who's the most disabled.
In a bowling league, you're better off.
Yeah,
but other than that, I don't know.
You're trying, like, you could wear a glove and no one knows you're disabled. No one knows you're missing a finger. And by the way, are you disabled? Is it that hard to grip the steering wheel with 9.5 fingers?
That's not even a nose-picking finger or anything. It's just...
Yes, it's like it was his ring finger. Maybe he has to get a thicker ring so it doesn't fall off. And he's married. Oh, you suffered so much. Let's have half a finger Memorial Day. Go fuck yourself. It's just.
Do we get off of work for that?
Yeah. Well, no. You only get a half day. So yeah, and so that's an example of someone striving to be a victim, wanting to be included in the group that's discriminated against. Don't be. Don't be. Listen, I wasn't discriminated against. I got laughed at a little bit for being a dwarf, but overall, I'm an upper middle class white guy from Orange County, California. Life didn't suck. Okay, it wasn't bad. I wasn't struggling. There wasn't anything that I had to truly overcome. So
about being a victim. It's the old thing of everybody's a hero of their own story. I add on, everybody is either the hero or victim of their own story. Choose wisely. Yeah. Because it is a choice. Yeah. How are you going to take things?
And the thing that the victim mentality gives you is the victim mentality gives you an excuse to fail. Mm-hmm. If you look at yourself as the victim of whatever, then you have an excuse when you don't succeed. My
You
dad
lose
didn't hug me
responsibility
enough.
for it.
Yeah, my dad didn't hug me enough. That's why I didn't get the job that I wanted. I had half a finger growing up, so that's why I didn't graduate college.
Can I shift gears real quick?
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry to cut this off, but
That's fine.
you brought up Andrea likes little people, and she says it makes her, like when she goes sees midget wrestling, she wants to rush to the thing and just scoop them all up.
Sure.
How rough is it when people want to hug you? Or how beautiful is it?
Hugging, I don't mind.
Okay.
Hugging is fine. It's when they pick me up that I'll punch them in the face. That's the only thing.
That's how he met his wife.
I do meet and greets after every show.
Oh, really?
And when I do my meet and greets, I will take photos. I will take funny photos. I will take weird photos. The only rule I have: do not pick me up. And you would be shocked at how many people are disappointed when I say that they can't do that. And it's like, I'm a 34-year-old man.
Right.
You can't.
Stop it.
See, now, as much as I'd want to do this, I wouldn't. I'm respectful, but it's just like...
Also, she's got no upper body strength, so...
Totally understandable. And people think I'm light. I'm not. I'm built like a bowling ball. I'm not 42 pounds. I'm 125 pound medicine. It's compact. So... I find that a lot where some people just have a fascination with little people. They like dwarves, and that's fine. I don't care
what's
as
the
long as
weirdest
you don't.
shit somebody's done?
Oh man!
Either on stage or off. The weirdest thing you've run across here from the weirdos.
I mean, and this would happen a lot. This happens all the time, actually, where. There's a guy that one time wanted to take a picture with a dwarf in every state. That was
okay.
And I'm like, hey, some guys want to visit every baseball stadium. That's your thing. Okay. And I now, and that's the thing is when you see a little person. When someone comes up to me on the street and just says, hey, can I take a picture with you? Mm-hmm. My first question is, why? And if your answer is because you're a comedian and I like you, awesome. I'll take all the photos. All the photos I will take with you. But if your answer is you're a dwarf and that's cool, then no. I will not take a picture with you. I'll either do that or I'll say, you can take a picture with me only if I'm allowed to watch you write your post on social media. Like the thing that you were going to say, I will watch you write it because I want you to have to do that in front of me. And it's amazing how often, there was one time a rather large woman wanted to take a photo with me, and I asked why, and she said, "Oh, because you're just so cute and adorable. I want to take a picture with you." And I said, "So you want to take a picture of me just because I'm a dwarf?" She's like, "Yeah, I just love dwarves." And I'm like, "All right, well then I will, but only if when we're done, you turn around and I take a picture with your back fat. I love back fat. The rolls just
true story
unbelievable."
There?
What's that?
True story there?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Go on, finish it.
And I said when I look at your back, I just think of buttermilk biscuits, and she got very offended, and I was like, "Yeah, same thing."
Welcome to the club.
Okay. Yeah, so that's how that goes. So yeah, people will say things, people will do things. Oftentimes, people just mistake me for other dwarves. Oftentimes, they'll think I'm Hornswoggle, Peter Dinklage, Wee Man.
By the way,
dwarf.
I saw that you're often confused for Wee Man. I would totally confuse Wee Man for you, just so you know.
Ha!
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. That's my favorite thing. My favorite thing is when I hear stories. I'll hear stories about my fans that go up to Wee Man and call him Brad Williams. I'm just.
I heard your bit about the golfing tournament with the Wee Man cart.
Yeah, that was on This Is Not Happening.
And that's true too?
Absolute true story. For those of you who haven't seen it, go to YouTube, watch the full video. But I went to a celebrity golf tournament I got booked on it, and when I walked up to my cart, my name on the cart said Wee Man.
How did like email? What happened?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I just want to say that Kennedy says, please send me the back fat photo.
You got a thing for back fat too. That's awesome.
Now we got a thing for laughing.
Yeah, it works out. That's great. Yeah, it's kind of weird when someone objectifies you, and then when you turn around and objectify them, then they see it as a problem. It's kind of interesting that way, but it's something we like. I'm all for equal rights for everybody, so that means equal rights doesn't mean you don't get to pick and choose which rights you have.
Exactly.
Equal rights means equal rights, equal treatment,
and everybody gets them.
Yeah. So if you make fun of me, that means I'm allowed to make fun of you.
It's only fair.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone's better than me or anyone's worse than me. So I can make fun of
except that one guy.
See, I know you do a lot of comedy shows and things, and you've been in. We saw Little Evil.
Oh, Little Evil on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty decent movie. I actually enjoyed it.
It's fun, isn't it?
It is.
It's a fun horror movie. If you're watching it hoping for Lawrence of Arabia, it's not that.
No,
but if you want just a fun, good time and funny and horror and campy, then it's awesome.
But we also enjoy Zombievers and The Babysitter, which is also Netflix originals, and Zombievers. You're not in those, but go ahead.
I'm not. They're good. They're
so good. Are you looking to do more acting?
Yeah, absolutely, always. I mean,
what kind of things are you wanting to do?
I mean, if you're on Netflix, you should also check out another movie that I'm in called Mascots. It's
I saw that. I haven't seen it yet, though. Go ahead.
It's the Christopher Guest film, and so I got to work with him. That was unbelievable.
I know what we're watching tonight.
Yeah. So, stand-up is always the love. Stand-up is always the go-to. I will never stop doing stand-up. It's just too much fucking fun. But if people book me to act in TV shows or movies or things like that, fantastic. I'll do it. I love doing it, but all it does, the only reason why I would do a TV show or a movie is just so I could sell more tickets and go on the road and do more stand-up, because that's the most fun.
What was Hollywood Sex Wars about? Because I haven't seen that either. But it's on your IMDb. Hollywood Sex Wars.
Yeah, Hollywood Sex Wars. That's one of those things where you do it very young in your career. And
is it a naughty
That was
movie?
my first. No.
Oh, okay.
Well, kind of. There's nudity in it. You'll see some boobs. But it's actually a real fun movie of men versus women, men trying to date women and trying to be the kind of trying to be the Hollywood hipster douche. Not you. You're a Virginia hipster. Way different.
I feel like I should get down to my wife beater I'm wearing instead, because,
Yeah, exactly. No, Hollywood Sex Wars is a film about a bunch of people trying to get noticed by the opposite sex, and at first they think that they have to become somebody they're not. Guys have to be this bass player with tattoos and whatever the hell, and women have to be this Barbie slut. And then in the end, they find out, no, just be who you are. Then you're going to find someone that is truly for you. So, yeah, and I appear in the film.
Okay. Oh, yeah, quickly, for all our viewers, on the bottom of the screen underneath the video, there is a share button. Go ahead and share that we've got Brad Williams on and that you're hanging out with him, and let folks know, come join us for this.
Sure.
So you started out on Mind of Mencia.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Two questions. First, love to know how it is working with Carlos. Second, I'd love for you to tell the story of how you got on.
Oh, yeah. The story on how I got started in this crazy thing we call show business is kind of nuts. I was 19 years old. I saw a car. I went to take my dad. You know what? We're actually coming up on the anniversary, because I took him for Father's Day to the Brea Improv, and where I'm actually playing this weekend. That's weird. It's all kind of coming together.
You guys mentioned this, huh?
Yeah. So, and Mencia was up on stage, and he started making midget jokes. Now, when he did, half the audience was laughing, and the audience that was sitting by me was just like,
Do they do that when Charles makes black jokes and half the audience is black? You know,
that's just kind of in comedy. That kind of happens when someone makes a joke about someone. Everyone looks around the room to see if that person is there. And so the audience that wasn't laughing, Mencia noticed that, and he looked over, and he's like, "Why aren't you guys laughing?" He goes, "These are funny jokes." And he actually said the sentence, "What, is one of them here?" And I just raised my hand in the air. I was like, "Yep, right here." And he called me up on stage. He didn't hesitate. He called me up on stage. He asked me some questions, and my answers got laughs. And it was right then where I was like, wow. And I told him, I'm going to do this for a living. And I was 19 years old, and then I dropped out of my third year at USC.
What were you going for?
I was going for communication. I was trying to be a sports announcer because I thought it'd be funny if I interviewed Shaquille O'Neal and his balls were on my face.
We have a buddy who is 6'7" in the UK, and he was going to come on today's show just to be on because Andrea heard something about you and British accents.
Oh, I just love him.
Yeah,
I just love him.
And
I love British accents. I love different kinds of British accents. I love the fact that if you talk to a lot of Americans, they think that the British accent is just one thing, but it's not. And I mean, it's funny because people in America think the British accents that I can do are good, and then I do them for a British person, and they're shit.
And it's extra funny for them.
Yes, because they're like, wow, you think that's what people from Liverpool sound like. So
you should hear what he thinks we sound like.
Oh,
hilarious!
Sure. He sounded like a British foghorn leghorn when he did a U.S. accent. It was great.
Well, I say, I'm from Virginia, boy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, that would have been quite the size that got me. But yeah, so that's how I got started in the business. Mencia sort of plucked me out of that, and when I told him I wanted to be a comedian, he had just gotten the show Mind of Mencia on Comedy Central, and he thought, well, if I have a dwarf, I should use him. They're funny, and started using me, and it was great. I started doing stand up, and been in love with it ever since. Now it's 14 years later.
In your stand up, you of course do a lot of dwarfism jokes.
Sure, I have to because if I. Oh no! And people say like, "Oh, do you just do dwarf jokes?" It's like,
no, you don't.
I have to do some,
right?
Because if I just stand there and talk about the weather and what the hell is going on in politics, and everyone's just looking at me like, "Does he know?"
Well, that's something. When I went on YouTube to grab links, and sorry about spamming your Twitter account with tagging you every damn time, but when I saw this, every fucking clip on YouTube is you doing short jokes, and I'm like, this guy does so much more. Why isn't there more out there on YouTube? Because what the hell, guys?
Well, and that's why I like and now if you look at my act, yes, I will tell jokes about being a dwarf,
right?
Because that's what I am. I don't know how to write jokes from the perspective of a 6'5" male, so that's my perspective. So it'll always have that screen on it. But now I'm telling jokes about how I hate fake emotional support dogs. I'm telling jokes about politics. I'm telling jokes about relationships.
You got one about the emotional support peacock that was kicked off the plane?
Yes.
Good. True story. And in the news like 2 months ago.
That United Airlines employee is a goddamn hero because this woman walked out of her house, apartment, I'm assuming her parents' house, she can't own, with a peacock on her shoulder and was like, this is normal, this is good. No, thank God. Because now no one wants to engage people in real life because we're all scared. We all hide behind Twitter and Facebook and everything like that. So no one said anything to this crazy bitch. Thank God the one United Airlines employee just looked at her and went, nah, you cray, and kicked her the hell off. So if I knew who that United employee was, I'd buy them dinner because God bless them, they're an American hero.
Couple comments here from the crew.
Yeah.
Kennedy says Christopher Guest is awesome. Can do
Yeah.
accents too. Says Brad
Yes,
has
he
one
is.
of the deep voices that project.
I
And
do.
regarding short jokes, can't ignore the 800-pound gorilla on stage.
Yeah, more like the 24-ounce gorilla. But yeah, no. I totally understand it and I get it. And but I also want people to know that when you go see my show, it's not just going to be that. There will be other topics. I'm not going to be up there for an hour just saying things like, I could take a bath in a thimble. That's weird. No, it's not.
It's because you're funnier.
Well, I
than
just wanted to say, because on Pandora, before I seen what you looked like or knew any of this stuff,
Yeah.
I liked your comedy. It wasn't until I Googled you. So-
when you're like, aha, oh,
Bonus.
something even more that I like.
Yeah, there's a bonus.
Good.
John says, isn't stand-up in a movie still stand-up? What an awesome causality loop that would be. And he also says he's too fat to hide behind Facebook.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
Stand up in a movie. Is that a reference to something, or is he just saying that? It's...
I think just in
He's
general.
saying, well, do stand up in a movie, so it's acting and comedy, and
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when people don't think comedians can be good actors, but when you watch our acts, we're essentially doing acting on stage. If I acted like I was on stage all the time, I'd be a dick.
I want to talk about that real quick, because something I didn't realize until I was in my mid-20s is magicians and comedians memorize their set for the most part. And it's the same thing repeated. So it is acting, because when you have to put that kind of emotion and surprise and reaction every time and hit it on the head, and a lot of folks they think comedians get up on stage and this is just all off the cuff with maybe a few.
Well, that's why you know they're good, because they can do that.
Right.
Yeah, and for some, and now, here's where I would kind of expand on that. Is one of the beautiful parts about comedy is that you could have a script in your head, go on stage, but then once the audience reacts a certain way, that script can just go out the window. So you have to figure out how to be funny off the cuff and crowd work and hecklers, and you have to learn how to adjust your set based on the audience. Maybe you're going up there with dirty material. They don't like the dirty material. You got to clean it up a little bit. You got to do all that on the fly. But yeah, no, absolutely. And magicians have something else in common with comedians, and that when it's magicians, comedians, strippers, and massage therapists.
I immediately associated you with all of those.
Yes, we all have the same thing in common, and that's when people meet us, they immediately want us to do our jobs for free.
I'm sorry, we're having a conversation instead. My bad. Tell me something funny.
Exactly.
Good job.
Or you're a massage therapist. I got this knot.
Yeah, like the 70s with doctors. Oh, you're a doctor. I got this pain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and when someone says, "Oh, you're a comic, tell me a joke," I go, "Just pull it up on YouTube. That's all the jokes. Or pay me, and then I'll do it. I'll be happy to tell jokes to people who pay me."
Stick a 5 in my belt. We could talk.
Yeah, I'm never gonna.
Yeah, we will.
Or I just tell them the most offensive joke that I can, and that usually turns them off, and they don't want any more.
Should we ask for that joke now?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
What?
I'm just curious.
This is the most offensive joke that I know. So don't isolate this audio. Be like, this is Brad's joke. Like this is an offensive joke. What do you do after you rape a deaf, dumb, and blind woman? Break her fingers so she can't tell the cops.
That is offensive. Kind of covered all the things.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Was it wrong that I laughed?
No, not at all.
We've had other guests on that mention horribly offensive things, meaning to, incite the indignity.
And I laughed.
Andrea's back there like...
You know what?
Like, why is she laughing? Because it's fucking funny.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it's good when you laugh at super offensive things, because that means you're not numb to it. It means you're not used to it.
It's an emotional
reaction. thinking about it all the time. If I had said that joke and someone just goes, "Yeah, that's what you do. It's only logical." Holy
Oh.
shit, that person's done that.
Wrong
Then.
crowd. Change the routine.
Yeah.
Kennedy says that's offensive. Achievement unlocked. Good job.
Are you a
Well
nerd?
done.
Are you a gamer or anything like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I like
What's your
like games. I'm not on the Fortnite yet,
Mm.
but I'm a Star Wars Battlefront guy or a Call of
Nice.
Duty guy.
Nice. Okay,
Those-
you like the first-person shooter type things.
Yeah,
I always end up pointing at the ceiling,
Well,
having no idea where I am.
Just so you know,
yeah.
today is middle-aged geekery because we're middle-aged, and this is our geekery.
You're
so,
not.
welcome.
Well,
The show.
yeah, and we all need it. We all need something to geek out about, whether it's video games, whether it be movies, whether it be hobbies, whatever they are. You know, I mean, how's this for geekery? My wife and I together recently restored a bunch of old G.I. Joe action figures.
Nice.
So much geekery. Much geekery.
You'd like Ed, he has the G.I. Joe, the original ones from the 60s and 70s. And then he also
big
has
one.
the Star Wars figures from Sideshow Collectibles.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I watched that documentary on Netflix, The Toys That Made Us. It's awesome.
I've got it marked. I haven't watched it yet, but I've got it in the list.
It's fantastic.
We have like a bi-monthly game of D&D, so we still do that.
Online,
Wow.
via Skype. And Thunderheart, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that.
No wonder you like dwarves so much. You just want to throw a battle axe on me and then just have your fantasies come true.
Can I tell you a little something? Andrea always plays a dwarf, a female dwarf with a beard. She always.
So I have a great rack and a great beard. That's my characters.
Wow. What's with the beard? Why do you like the beard?
I don't know.
Fantasy female dwarfs have beards.
Okay.
And Italian real life female dwarfs have beards.
Not a false statement.
No, not really.
Guys, I hate to do this to you, but I do have to go.
Okay.
But
Perfect time.
I want to tell you that I had a great time.
Awesome.
I'm glad that I was able to come on. I'm glad you guys have this show that's running, and I'm glad you have fans that support it, because if fans like the show, the only way to keep it going is for them to support it, to spread the word, to tell their friends. Because it's weird. Sometimes people go like, man, I love this radio show, but then it just went off the air. It's like, oh, did you tell people about it? Well, no. Nobody listened. So people need to know about things you like. So if you watch Talk of the Tavern, if you listen to Talk of the Tavern, and you go, this is a fun, great show, tell friends about it. That's how these guys are going to get better guests. That's how better guests than me, because this is not good. But that's how they're going to get great guests. That's how they're going to
that's
improve
something
the
we'll
show.
flip.
Yeah.
Right.
So spread it out. Spread the love. And guys, thank you so much for having me on the show. Really do appreciate it.
Have a great one,
Here's to
Brad.
you.
Have a good set tonight.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Let's go ahead.
Well, I was going to. It's break time anyway.
It is. I'll readjust the camera then. We're going to go into a break, and we'll be right back, guys. With two
Stick
more
around,
hours
guys, and we'll answer stuff.
There we go. Let's see. Let me find a right break there.